It was spring of 1999 in New York City. I was spending the morning with my infant and toddler sons at the Museum of Natural History. We were in the lobby. I had the baby in an infant carrier on my chest. My 2.5-year-old was in the front seat of the double stroller. It was a well-made stroller, but the design was terrible. They didn't even make strollers like it now. It was pretty much 2 full strollers, one in front of the other. It was too long and narrow, unwieldy, and hard to manage. I was helping my son get out of the front seat. He was a well-coordinated, agile kid, so our move was, I would put all of the brakes on, and then hold his hand as he stood on the stroller bar and jump to the ground. Easy peasy. We'd been doing it for 2 months, except this time it was wrong. I was holding his hand with one hand. I had my other arm around the baby on my chest. As he jumped, something went wrong with the brakes and the stroller swung from under him mid-jump. His feet flipped in the air and he was falling head first to the ground. I wasn't able to get my other hand free in time to catch him. It was paralyzingly terrifying. Everything was in slow-mo and it seemed like it got dark and all of the sounds stopped. I watched him head first for the solid stone floor of the lobby of the museum. There was no way I could stop it. And then, all of a sudden, the sound came back and there he was, standing right in front of me. Safe and sound. Feet on the ground. What the hell? I was so stunned and shaken and felt like I was going to cry. As I hugged him and held him close, I was looking around to see if anyone had noticed anything strange, but everyone was just doing their thing. I guess I have looked startled because he said, "What, mommy?" I was so wigged out, I just couldn't even talk about it. He is now 27 and he doesn't remember any of it, but I really wish I asked him then what he experienced. He was verbally precocious, and he had quite a lot to say at his age. I wonder what his answer would have been. I didn't believe in glitches before that. No possible way that could have happened without a full-on 100% glitch. My mom and sister left for hockey practice about 30 minutes ago. I'm sitting in my room doing homework and all of a sudden I hear my sister's voice excited saying, "Rocky!" Rocky is my dog, and every time she walks in, he goes up to her excited, so she always pets him and calls him a good boy, etc. So I immediately thought that, man, this is weird. I didn't hear him walk through the door at all, nor did I even see him on my Ring cam. I get a notification and can watch replays of people coming through the front door. So I sit there for about 15 seconds and continue to do my homework until I realize, oh shit, why haven't I heard any of them talk or move at all? I went upstairs to check and literally no one is at home and no evidence from the Ring cam, yet I am positive I heard my sister talk. It's unreal how many of you have stories just like mine, or even real physical interactions play off in front of your face to which you're the player too. You literally experience it, and then have a glitch right in front of you. At least I can tell myself, maybe I didn't hear it. But as for you guys who literally have seen with their own eyes the reality we live in, literally and physically glitch is crazy. And I hope your mental health doesn't take that effect. Years ago, when I was working in a psych ward, one of the residents, a teenager who barely spoke other than I asked about the time, approached me and said, "Miss, why do you have bruises all over your legs?" I laughed at the randomness of the question and asked what they meant by it, but they just said, nothing, never mind, and walked away. I was wearing pants, so I'm not sure how they would even know if I had bruises on my legs. When I got home and checked, there were none. Over the next week, though, they started appearing. With no explainable cause, my legs became a patchwork of purple, yellow, and blue. I was assigned to other units for the next several weeks, and a client discharged before I had a chance to talk with them again. But the painful bruises stayed with me for a while, as did the creeps. I had completely forgotten about this incident until I started reading through my old journals recently, and it gave me the chills all over again. Thought this might be worth sharing. Has anyone ever had glitches that cause inexplicable pain or injury? Good evening, everyone. If you happen to like our content, then please like, share, and subscribe. Subscribing is free. If you ever feel the need to change it, you can always do so. Make sure you hit the notification bell so that way you never miss any of our content. Now back to the video. I went on a brisk walk yesterday to get some fresh air. It was in the evening and not many cars were out and about. I was getting ready to cross an intersection when a single car, a white Toyota Corolla, was stopped at the light. I didn't cross because I looked in the car and I seen myself in the driver's seat. I was shocked and it sent shivers down my spine. They had the same clothes I was wearing, the same jacket, same everything. I was frozen in place and gasped. All of a sudden, the person in the car, me, looks over directly at me and smiles and remains frozen in that state. They never blinked or moved, just a dead stare right into my face. The smile seemed to widen more and more with each second that went by. I couldn't move. The most terrifying fear came over me. I closed my eyes and I could still feel them staring me down. I could hear my heartbeat racing. I was short of breath. A good 30 seconds passed at this point. When I opened them, I seen the light had changed and the car was already up the road, having gone through the green light. I can hear the engine getting more faint as it drove on by. Silence filled the air once more as I was left with only the memory of what just happened. I took a deep breath, shaken by my event, and I quickly ended my walk and went back home. Wow, this is why I stay in so much. Just when you think you've seen it all. Well, long story short, I had a high school class ring. I lost a bit of weight shortly after high school and it flew off my hand into the car's vent. I was hopeful that it was just within reach and maybe I had imagined that and it was in the car, but no. I asked my dad and he looked in the heinous manual. It was a huge pain to get in there. Unfortunately, it wasn't worth it. Eventually, I sold the car. About 6 to 8 years later, living in another state, it was just in my jewelry box one day. Tarnished and aged and definitely engraved. Side note, I have very little jewelry, so I have a tiny box my parents gave me for Christmas or something, but I have had it most of my life. So I assume I dreamed that, or something strange. But I know I lost it. I was really hurt because my parents spent a lot of money on it. Even now, like 15 years from losing it originally, I feel odd about it. I'm still randomly surprised that it was there. It's like it doesn't belong here. It feels off somehow, if that makes any sense. I joined Reddit in the sub a while ago because I think about my glitch experience at least weekly. I finally have enough karma to post it. Please let me know what you think because it would drive me crazy to my grave not understanding this. This was around 2016 or 2017. My friend and I were driving through a quiet neighborhood in Traverse City, Michigan. It was a rainy day, middle of the day. We were stone cold sober. I feel like I need to say this to feel validated. We passed the street and I mentioned something about our friend Ashley recently moving to a house on that street. For the sake of the story, I think it was Fern Street or something like that. Next thing we know, we stopped at a stop sign at the T in the road. An older model olive greenish convertible was turning left off the cross street onto the street we were stopped at. The guy driving it had to jerk his wheel super hard to avoid hitting us as he made the turn. It was like he didn't see us until he was halfway into his turn. I looked over at my friend and she was already looking at me. I looked back outside and did not recognize a damn thing. It was now a sunny day, and our entire surroundings were completely unfamiliar. My friend was like, "Han, I'm scared. Where are we?" And I kept asking her the same thing. I asked her if she saw the car almost hit us, and she did, but neither one of us knew where we were or what was happening. Suddenly, everything became familiar again. It was like our entire surroundings morphed into a recognizable intersection, and I was like, oh my God, we were near to sail in. A bar we knew. The weather was rainy again, and we knew the exact intersection we were stopped at. I asked my friend what she remembered last before we stopped at the stop sign, and she said she remembered me talking about Fern Street. That was the last thing I remembered too. So we drove back to the street, and it was 3 blocks down the road. My friend hates being reminded of this day because it really scares the shit out of her, and it haunts me because I am so fascinated by the experience. But I also just want to know what the hell happened to my damn mind, body, existence in those moments. The only thing I wish is that we knew what time it was and how long it lasts. It felt like it was slow and fast at the same time. I don't know, man. This was some weird ass shit. I'll probably die trying to understand it. And this is why I have FOMO about dying. Good evening, everyone. This is Yuri K, and this is the end of the video. Please leave a comment and let us know your opinions on the matter. If you happen to like this content, please check out our other videos. Make sure you like and share amongst your friends and family to help our community grow. You happen to be new to this channel? Please make sure you subscribe. It's free, and you can always change it in the future. You have some terrifying story suggestions? If so, make sure that you send it to my email, fearofthedarkstories@gmail.com, and I'll feature it in a future segment. But you guys stay safe out there, and remember to always be afraid of the dark.